Hey everybody, I'm Liberty Vittert, Senior Data Scientist here at Decision Desk HQ. I'm here to take you through our latest polling averages in the key battleground states ahead of the 2024 presidential election between incumbent Democratic President Joe Biden, who's been in the news a lot lately, and former Republican President Donald Trump, who for the first time in a long time is not the main story. So let's jump right into this week. There are 538 electoral votes up for grabs on the 2024 Electoral College map, with 270 needed to win the presidency. Most states are not expected to be in competition this November, according to the latest DDHQ forecast. 8 states are currently labeled as toss-ups, with 4 additional states leaning toward either Biden or Trump. The remaining 38 states and the District of Columbia each have better than an 80% chance of voting in a particular direction. In today's videos and future editions of the series, we will focus on the states currently marked as toss-ups. These are the 7 states where we expect the Biden and Trump campaigns to direct most of their resources in the coming months, with the 89 toss-up electoral votes likely deciding this election's outcome in 2024. So without further ado, let's begin with Nevada. Republicans are in a stronger position to flip the silver state than they have been in over 2 decades. Trump lost Nevada by 2.4% to Hillary Clinton and by the same margin to Joe Biden in 2020, indicating the state shifted to the right relative to the nation, as Biden won the national popular vote by a larger margin than Clinton. In 2022, the GOP flipped the governor's office and won the popular vote for the U.S. House for the first time in decades. These pro-Republican trends have continued into 2024. According to our latest averages of 36 polls, Trump currently leads Biden by 3.8% in Nevada, a lead he has maintained since last October. However, given independent candidate Robert F. Kennedy Jr.'s claimed ballot access in Nevada, our full field average is more noteworthy. DDHQ has not yet confirmed his status with state officials, but our full field average shows Trump's lead increases with more candidates in the mix. He leads Biden and Kennedy by 5.4% based on 28 polls, with Trump at 42.9%, Biden at 37.5%, and Kennedy at 8.6%. Biden has not led in any of these full field surveys dating back to last October, when RFK dropped out of the Democratic primary to run as an independent. So based on these polling averages showing Trump comfortably ahead, we will switch Nevada into the lean Republican category on our Electoral College map. Southeast of Nevada, we have our next toss-up, Arizona, the second closest contest in the 2020 election. Biden narrowly carried the Grand Canyon state by 0.3% with a raw vote margin of fewer than 11,000 votes. This marked only the second time Arizona had voted Democratic at the presidential level since 1952. Recent polling again shows Trump with a consistent lead with a margin of 4.4% based on 52 polls, where he averages 49.1% compared to Biden's 44.7%. Biden has not led in a single survey since last June. Kennedy is not yet qualified for the ballot access in Arizona, widely regarded as the most challenging of these core swing states for ballot access. However, there's still a good chance he'll meet the petition threshold by the mid-August deadline. Looking at the full field average, Trump leads by a larger margin in the head-to-head contest, 6.2% based on 37 polls. Both averages fall in the lean Republican category, so we'll mark it as such on the map. So far, in both of these Southwest states, the inclusion of RFK Jr. in the poll question negatively impacts Biden more than Trump. Moving to the Southeast in Georgia, the single closest contest in the 2020 election, Biden became the first Democrat to carry the Peach State since Bill Clinton in 1992, winning by a margin of 0.2%, approximately 12,000 votes. Arizona and Georgia exhibited pretty remarkably similar voting patterns in that election and have shown comparable trends over the last decade. So since the 2012 presidential election, where Mitt Romney defeated Barack Obama by 9 points in Arizona and 8 points in Georgia, These states have experienced the third and fifth strongest pro-Democratic shifts relative to the national popular vote. Looking ahead to 2024, Trump holds an advantage of 2.7% based on 40 polls. This is the narrowest advantage Trump has held since last October. Previously, Trump led by nearly double digits in February, which narrowed around 5 to 6 points in March and remained that way until this past week. The latest Morning Consult poll shows Trump leading by just 1 point. 4 of the last 6 surveys have shown his lead at 3 points or less within the margin of error. RFK has not yet qualified for the ballot in Georgia, but when you expand the average to include all non-major party candidates, Trump's lead again increases slightly to 4.3%, with Kennedy currently garnering 6.9% in Georgia. But returning to the map, Georgia will likely follow Nevada and Arizona's trend as a lean Republican state. So let's move up to and across the Rust Belt now, which is going to be integral for the 2024 election. This is the quartet that has voted in tandem with one another in 8 of the last 9 presidential elections, backing Democrats in all but one of those cycles. Obviously, in 2016, Trump narrowly defeated Hillary Clinton in Pennsylvania, Michigan, and Wisconsin, but fell short in Minnesota, which holds the active record of voting for Democratic presidential candidates for 12 consecutive elections. Biden managed to win back Pennsylvania, Michigan, and Wisconsin for the Democrats in 2020 with margins of 1.2%, 2.8%, and 0.6% respectively, while securing a larger margin of 7% in Minnesota. Regarding polling for 2024, Biden has consistently appeared more competitive in the core Rust Belt trio than in any of the Sun Belt states. This is super significant because even if Trump wins all 4 battlegrounds in the Sun Belt, Biden could still secure a second term by sweeping the Rust Belt. According to the latest averages, Biden leaves Trump by a slim margin of 1.4% in Wisconsin, with Biden averaging 47.8% support across 39 polls compared to Trump's 46.4%. This very narrow margin has been pretty consistent since mid-March, with neither candidate's lead exceeding 3 points. Biden has led or been tied with Trump in 7 of the last 10 polls, a pretty interesting turnaround considering that Trump led in 8 of the previous 10. Now, RFK has not yet qualified in Wisconsin, but when including him and the full field of candidates, Trump again performed slightly better. Biden at 41.7%, Trump at 41.5%, and Kennedy at 7.4%. Neither candidate is led by more than 2 points in over 2 months, making Wisconsin a firm toss-up in this race. Over to Michigan, Biden has regained a lead of 0.8% based on 55 polls, placing him at 47.8% compared to Trump's 47%. The lead has really fluctuated over the last month, with the latest survey by Morning Consult and Bloomberg News showing Biden up by 5 points. Trump had led in 4 of the previous 5 polls. Michigan is certainly the bluest of the core Rust Belt trio, having voted for Biden by 2.8% in 2020. It has consistently voted to the left of Wisconsin and Pennsylvania since 1992, and Democrats have achieved strong electoral victories across the state since 2016. Michigan is the only one of the 5 states where DDHQ has confirmed with the Secretary of State's office that Kennedy will appear on the ballot this November. Considering the full field of average of 38 polls, the margin narrows to less than half a point. Biden holds 41.8%, Trump 41.3%, and Kennedy 6.7%. The trend line shows Biden has consistently closed the gap over the last several months, resulting in this half-point lead. So Michigan remains a toss-up state, with both averages showing Biden ahead by margins well within the margin of error, so very close. So now let's turn to Pennsylvania, the Keystone State, which may be the most crucial state in the 2024 election. It offers by far the largest prize among key battlegrounds with 19 electoral votes. So Trump won Pennsylvania by 0.7% in 2016, but Biden reclaimed it for the Democrats with a 1.2% victory in 2020. Historically, Pennsylvania has pretty much leaned Democrat, particularly in non-presidential statewide elections, which has frequently favored Democrats. So Trump's overall lead has increased to 3.7% based on 57 polls, after leading by just a point or two in recent weeks. Now, RFK Jr. has not yet qualified for the ballot in Pennsylvania, but the full field average shows Trump leading by 2 points. Interestingly, Pennsylvania is the only state where Trump loses ground with the inclusion of third parties. So on the electoral map, Pennsylvania will be placed in the lean Republican category, given that RFK Jr. has not qualified and Trump leads by more than 3 points in the head-to-head. So this lifts Trump above the necessary electoral vote threshold, bringing him to 287 before even considering Maine or Minnesota. Biden won both states comfortably in 2020, but our forecast currently rates them as toss-ups. Biden has a 64% chance in Maine and a 65% chance in Minnesota, placing them on the edge of being lean Democrat. We don't have a polling average for Maine due to insufficient surveys, but in Minnesota, Biden leads by 1.5% based on 14 polls, which is the exact same margin Hillary Clinton won by in 2016. So Minnesota remains in the toss-up category for now. This completes the 2024 battleground map based on the DDHQ and the Hill polling averages. Trump leads the race to 270 electoral votes, surpassing the threshold with 287, while Biden severely trails at only 214. 37 decisive electoral votes in Minnesota, Wisconsin, Michigan, and Maine remain in the toss-up category. That is all for this DDHQ video. Thank you so much for watching. Feel free to leave your thoughts, comments, and reactions in the comments below, and make sure to click that like button down below if you did indeed like it, and subscribe to the channel down below if you haven't already. Also, make sure to check out more content from our channel here, and I will catch you next time.